I'm a Georgia Bulldog till I die. Red and black running deep inside. Got that pride, you can see it in my eyes. Stand tall, yeah, we barking through the night. G-A, that's right.
Welcome back to the Doghouse YouTube gang. Y'all already know I'm your host, Major. And in this video, we're talking about them Georgia Bulldogs going down to Jacksonville to beat up on them Florida Gators. At least I hope we do. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be real, I got us winning by 2 touchdowns, and we'll see Saturday. I will be live for that game. Also, y'all already know what time it is, so y'all be tuned in for that. But we'll see if my prediction is right. I got us winning by at least 2 touchdowns. Let's just be real, right? Florida has always been a rival type of team. I've said it over and over this season that we cannot sleep on any team for the rest of the season, just due to the inconsistencies all season, how we've been playing behind, how the defense hasn't been consistent. The defense, you know, at times look good. I mean, you got to think in week 3 when we played Tennessee, they were only able to score 3 points in the fourth quarter. Then the next week come around, Alabama doesn't score any points in the fourth quarter, and then we go up against Auburn the week after. We play Kentucky, and then we go to Auburn, and then we play Auburn, and we shut them out the whole second half. So this team can lock in and play for each other and get it done. We just need them to do that for the rest of the season. Like I said, there's no more sleeping at all. We have to be completely woke every single game, even against a 3-4 Florida team, even with a team that just lost a head coach and they got this new guy coming in, Billy Gonzalez. I don't think he's permanent, but he is stepping in at that head coach role. And I just think, me personally, man, I think that they still are talented players on that team. You know, I think that DJ Lagway is one of those guys that's, you know, pretty mobile. He's a very big physical guy, so he's definitely going to be hard to take down. On the season, he got like 1,500 and some yards on the season, 9 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, and with a 52.3 or something QBR rate. So he's not very accurate, but we've had trouble with running quarterbacks in previous seasons, so we definitely got to look out for him to take off whenever he need to, and hopefully that's not a problem for the defense. But the defense has got to get better. I know that I've been guilty of saying that, you know, we've played half the season. This is the type of team that we have, you know. But my thing is, I've seen this team do good things, just like I talked about it, you know, against Tennessee and against Alabama, you know, and shutting out Auburn. So I think if we lock in, we can do what we should do. Only thing that I'll be looking at a lot of time is the fact that we are last in the SEC when it comes to sacks and tackles for loss. So that sounds like a really bad issue, even though we've been winning games. See, that's kind of why people gloss over it, because we've been winning games, but we are last in the SEC for sacks and tackles for loss. Like I said, it doesn't look that bad because we still winning games, but we got to get better with that. But like, I'm gonna go back a little bit, and I did this in the previous video, and I kind of reiterated a little bit again for those who didn't watch it. Like in 21, Dan Lanning was our defensive coordinator, for those who didn't know. We allowed 10.2 points per game with Dan Lanning. Obviously in 21 we won the national, right? 21 and 22. So Dan Lanning was the defensive coordinator. We only allowed 10.2 points per game, right? So then you move on to 22. And 22, now you got, well, let's just say this. Dan Lanning left. For those who don't know, that's been under a rock. Dan Lanning left and went over to Oregon, became the head coach over there. So in 22, now you got Glenn Schumann and Will Muschamp, 50-50 with the defense. Now you allowing 14.3 points per game. Okay, in 23, you got Glenn Schumann took over himself because Will Muschamp, you know, retired or whatever. You up to 15.6 points allowed per game. Okay, 24, you got Glenn Schumann and Travaris Robinson, if I'm not mistaken, that might be his last name. You up to, and that's the 24 season, you up to 20 points, 20.6 points allowed per game. Now you in present time, Glenn Schumann and Travaris again, 19.6 points allowed per game, right? So this season is not that much better than last season. Obviously last season it was 20.6 points allowed per game. So that's why I always speak on this channel, I always speak about coaching, because obviously you can, you know, just from what I just, you know, told y'all about the points per game, obviously we have taking the back seat when it came to, you know, Glenn Schumann taking over in that role. Now, I'm not saying that Glenn Schumann is trash. I just think that he might need some help along the way when it comes to developing these players on the defense side of the ball. And that's my biggest thing. That's my biggest thing with this game and the rest of the season. We need Glenn Schumann to get these guys prepared to, you know, play like dogs, man. We need to have them locked in. We need to have them woke for the first half of the game and the second half. So, you know, I don't want to continue to rely on, oh, we're a second half team, they're going to wake up in the second half. I don't want to keep relying on that because that gets old, right? And as far as talent wise, man, the talent is there. So for those that feel like, oh, it's not coaching, it's just that we don't have the same level of talent, I can pretty much prove to you guys that we have the same level of talent. That's why I base most of my argument around the coaching, and I can show you right now. All right, guys, so I got Dogs 24/7 up right now, and I got the recruiting class up right now. I started back from 2020, right? So I went back 5 years, and this is my way of showing you guys that the talent level is still there. Even from 2020 to now, the talent level is still there. We were ranked number 1 in that season, and we had Kelly Ringo, which was, you know, a 5-star cornerback. We had Jalen Carter. You know, he was a 5-star. You had Broderick Jones. He's a 5-star. And let me just say this. Some of these guys that's on this list, they may have transferred out, or some guys might have even transferred in. It may be 4 or 5-star. But I just wanted to show you guys from the last 5 years that we have the same level of talent. Like, it's not like we've dropped off a whole lot in 2025. It's not like that's the reason why the defense is looking the way they're looking, right? So then you go on from 2020 to 2021. So we were ranked number 3 in the class of recruiting that season, right? So you got Maris Mims, he's a 5-star. Nyland Green, 5-star. Tyron Ingram Dawkins, he's a 5-star. Smile Munden, another 5-star. So even with that season, right, probably got like one more 5-star on that defense, right? But outside of that, we still, you know, have the same level of talent, you know. So that's the 21 season, you know. 20. Then you got 22. Let's go to 22. I'm gonna try to go through it pretty fast because I don't want this video to be long. So then, you know, we were once again ranked number 3 in the class of 2022, and we had Malachi Starks, 5-star, Michael Williams, 5-star, Dalen Everett, 5-star, which is crazy because Dalen Everett definitely don't play like a 5-star at times. Marvin Jones Jr., he was a 5-star, which I don't feel like he thought that he got the playing time that he needed, so he decided to transfer out. Jalen Walker, he's a 5-star. So like, even when you look at these lists, it's only 1 or 2 more players in each season. You know, you only get 1 extra 5-star in each season, right? You know, you're mostly going to have at least 4 of the 5-stars on that defense side of the ball. So this is what I be saying about as far as our level of talent hasn't changed. You know, I think a lot of people don't realize it because they don't go and research it like, you know, how I do. And I do it every season. I look at, you know, this website and I find out, okay, who are the 5-stars on the defense side of the ball? And it clearly shows you. So, you know, we go back up and we go and move on to 23. So by this time, we already know that Dan Lannon is gone, and now we rocking with Glenn Schumann. So we ranked number 2 in 23, and we had Jordan Hall, which is a 5-star, Raylan Wilson, 5-star, AJ Harris, 5-star, Janelle Aguero, 5-star, and like I said, it's going to be at least 4 or 5 guys each time. So don't believe the hype thinking that, oh, we don't get, you know, talented players, or we're taking a back seat, or we taking a setback when it comes to recruitment, because Kirby continues to recruit at a high level, especially on that defense side of the ball. We may not see these many 5-stars on the offense side of the ball, but the defense definitely gonna have them. So now we about to move on to 24. Now in 24, we ranked number 1. You know, then we brought in Ellis Robinson, which is a 5-star, Justice Williams, which is a 5-star, KJ Bolden, a 5-star, Chris Cole, a 5-star. Like I said, man, 4 to 5 guys each and every season. And that, like I said, that's not counting the guys that may get transferred in. You know what I mean? So every season we're going to have at least 4 to 5-star defensive players that commit to the University of Georgia, right? So then we move on to present time, 2025. So we rank number 2. We have Elijah Griffin, 5-star. Isaiah Gibson, 5-star. Warren Gatson, 5-star. He's on the offensive side of the ball. Zayden Walker, 5-star. And once again, like I said, 4 to 5 guys every single season. So, you know, you have to understand that recruitment for us is going to always be at a high level. That's why I lean towards coaching for the most part, because even when we go back to the seasons where we recruited and guys played in the 2021 and the 2022 season where we won the 2 natties back to back, we had the same amount of talent. You know, I don't know how much talented they is if you want to talk about, like, you know, how better they was than every player in their city or state, but as far as the stars goes, if you want to talk about stars, we have the same amount of stars each year. So that's where it comes back to me with my opinion on coaching, and I just think we got to get better with that. And you know, we just got to try to get Glenn Schumann some help if you're going to give my opinion. So yeah, that's what it is. All in all, guys, I just feel like Georgia will pull this game off. Like I told y'all, stay tuned Saturday for the live. I will be live talking my talk about them Georgia Bulldogs. This is a rival game. This is a big game for us, and we have to win this game. So y'all already know what time it is. I'm your host, Major. This is the Doghouse. Y'all stay tuned for more.